with friendships as well, emails, I will express umzekelo uba, okay, you are my friend, I have boundaries. There's this and that you cannot do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for our friendship to grow or uba ibe sustained. If I feel like if you do this, iyaphela friendship
I
yethu.
mean, what would you consider is a healthy like boundary?
Health boundary.
Yeah. What would you consider is a healthy boundary?
One example would be the uh, sexual room that most males will try to open.
Oh.
Forget that we are friends. Umzekelo, you cannot touch my bum.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the second episode to the Uphil podcast, the podcast whereby we actually talk about life, identity, and well-being. I'm so excited. I am your host, Mtsila, and today, when I talk about today, I'm talking about a day that is about to be like one of the most historical days ever on this podcast. We have someone that in such a short amount of time, we have literally bonded. I don't know. There was a matter of, if I could say, I think it's a week or so. But the way that we've been talking back and forth, I hold it dear to my heart and I value everything that she stands for. She is a musician. Guys, she is a musician. She is a powerhouse. She is someone that stands up for other people. She has done health projects within the community. She has done health therapy sessions with a lot of individuals personally and with a lot of collaborative brands. She's not only a musician, she is a daughter, she is a sister, she is a mother, she is so many things to so many people, and I'm so happy to say that she's a friend of mine. Guys, help me to welcome the one and only Ncedeka.
Hi.
Hi, my baby. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Unjani?
I'm okay. I was a bit quite anxious, but I always say this, and I say this in the last episode as well, that I'm always anxious when greatness is about to be done. And you being here is like, it's a confirmation that you can start so small, but then it's not about like how humble or how small you start. It's about if your project or if what you stand for has grace, then God will just elect people that will push up your brand. So thank you so much for being here. I highly appreciate you. Let's talk. Now, the podcast, like I said, is something that we talk about a lot, well-being, and it's something that I strive for in a daily basis. I know that you're not only a musician, like I said, you're not only a daughter and a mother, but you're a lot of things to different people. And it can be a good experience, it can be a bad experience that you've had with people, but you genuinely mean something to another person. Now, this week for me, I've been struggling with kind of dealing with failure and what failure means to a person. So because when I think about failure, when it comes to me specifically, the minute that something like is like disheartening or discouraging, and then I just like shifted my focus for whatever reason. And for a person of your nature, of course, a person who's a musician, failure is something that is not avoidable, right? As a musician, there's a lot of things that you guys go through trying to break into the industry, trying to find your audience, your target audience, and it's not easy, I would imagine. So my question to you is, do you think that failure is something that we can control, or do you think that failure is something that we should actually take it as more of a negative thing or more of a positive? So how do you feel about failure?
Okay, so molweni bethunana igama lam nguNcedeka. So mixa ke isiXhosa ne-English
Sure.
for my comfort.
Okay.
So for me, failure is both something that we could avoid, and sometimes we just cannot avoid because of circumstances. So what I mean by failure is something that we can avoid. Sometimes there are things that we know that we should do, but we don't do, and they lead to failure. We know that there are steps that we should take in order for us to make success out of whatever that we come across. But sometimes it's just things that are out of control, man. Yeah. And I mean, we should just learn from them. So that's how I approach life. And I don't want to say it's standard, but for me, it works out. It works the fact that I know, I will never like crumble because I've failed. From any negative experience, I learn and I move on. And, I become better from that experience.
I mean, you've mentioned, Ngoko, that failure is something that we can avoid. I'm not okay. Let me rather put it like this. For me, when you say failure is something that you can avoid, that means that we, as people, we're already equipped with whatever project or with whatever mentality or idea or venture that you were trying to go into. For me, like failure, I don't think it's something that cannot be avoided. And reason being, because obviously you go into something that you hopefully want to explore and you want it to be successful, but then you don't really understand the challenges that you might face. And I'm saying this because when we started this podcast, and I was saying this to one of the producers as well, is that when we started talking about it, it was all about an idea, right? I didn't know what actually went into creating a podcast, the amount of energy, the emotional investment that you have, and the time that you have to sacrifice. It did kind of struggle, or it did kind of put me in a position whereby, do I still want to continue? So when you mentioned something that failure is something that can't be avoided, I would agree and yes. But obviously we are different as individuals. So the point of you saying that failure cannot be avoided, in your case, how did you avoid failure in your music career, provided that you just stated that you can't avoid failure?
So I'm going to first start from what you've just said. So you're saying that you have a team, and there's a reason for that. So the podcast probably comes from you, but now that you're working with people and you have assigned them to do A, B, and C, you need to trust those people, right? So ukubuza back ke ngokum, in my music journey, I started obviously alone. But as I grow and move on, I realized, Ndobana, I'm not just a singer, I'm also a business. Do you understand? And I want this to grow. And then that means I will need people in my journey.
Okay.
Now that I know that information, what am I doing about it? You understand? If then it depends on my mentality as well. So now I know that I need to work with A, B, and C in order for this brand to grow as Ncedeka, a singer, and the business Ncedeka. So if I have people that I'm working with, and I'm saying these people, I trust them with these roles, I need to let them do those roles to avoid indobana ndipele ndiba overpower in things that they could assist me on. For example, I know myself, I'm not consistent. But generally as a person. So if I have a team, then those people will play the role to remind me to keep up and to keep the brand going and to grow. Do you understand? So if I have a team of, let's say, PR, branding or whatever, on days where as a singer I feel discouraged, those people will be playing their roles and the brand is growing, it's moving, it's not stagnant because I'm going through whatever as a singer. So that's what I'm talking about. Kandi City, some failures we could avoid, but some are things that we cannot avoid. You understand? So that's what I mean.
And for a second there, you talked about when you have a team and you trust people to do whatever that is necessary for them to do.
Sure.
Does that fall under faith as well?
Faith, yes,
faith.
Of course.
Does that fall under faith?
Of course.
Because a lot of people, we might have ideas, we might have people around us, but if you don't have the faith, if you don't have something that you're hopeful for, there's only so much that consistency can do. There's only so much another person can do. Have you ever felt discouraged? Have you ever felt a sense of loneliness? I mean, I could imagine that you have your brother, you have your family, you have people that support you. I mean, I'm sure that you started singing at a very young age, and you've molded that craft, and you're still molding that craft. But in regards to you feeling loneliness and discouragement, how do you deal with that?
So, with loneliness, I've experienced that one a lot. In times where I excluded the people that I needed.
Okay.
Because I felt like, man, I'm wasting people's time here.
In what sense?
In the sense that I've been singing and I've been having a lot of breaks in between because of personal reasons and more reasons mhlawumbe ke, that I cannot mention here. And I mean, for me, it felt like, so I already have these people and they are like, they are for me, they are assisting me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, now I'm not feeling myself. I feel like I need to restart, and I keep on restarting, and I'm like, I'm wasting people's times here. And then I end up being alone, like literally alone. And knowing that I'm very inconsistent, if I decide to shut down, I shut down.
You shut down.
And it's a bad thing for me. I feel like it's a bad thing.
I mean,
even though some people will say it's a good thing because once in a while you need to, shut down. But what happens if you shut down for like 3 years or 4 years?
But you're aware of yourself. So that's
I'm very
that's
much
what I'm
aware.
getting from this. You are aware.
Yeah.
You're telling yourself that it's okay that I don't have the greatest parts. My personality is not like 100 all of the time. But I'm okay with allocating that and allowing people to see another side of me.
But now it's a problem because I have faith in these people. I give them a room to come and assist me. Then I decide to shut down, and then trust is broken because now they can't trust me kakuhle because they know by any time I can vanish. So it's something that I've been working on, but I feel like I'm in a very better space now.
What do you think?
Than before.
What do you think caused that?
I don't know. It's probably the person that I've become based on the personal experiences in life. I don't know.
In life.
Mhlawumbe it depends on the time I'm in my life. I don't know, honestly.
Because now for me, consistency, and I was talking about this week. Inconsistency, it's something that we deal with in whatever field that you're in. You like whatever thing that you are busy doing. Inconsistency is such a poison to our
it's a big
society.
problem.
It is a poison because that's where we deal with what I'm looking for. That's where we deal with like procrastination and procrastinating. And you get to a point whereby this person has so much potential, but the littlest things will literally just like distract them in everything that they do. And I'm also getting to a point whereby, you know what, I don't have to constantly have everything figured out. I just have to put myself in a position whereby I am surrounded by people who will not easily give up on me. And what you're saying, do you think that maybe, okay, the people that you were around you all the time, they were the perfect fit for people to actually, upgrade your career and upscale your career. But did you think that they had the patience? Did you think that they had the care or enough, love for you to actually know what? We all are human. We don't I understand it's business. Understand time is money. Understand that the more that we are allocating on top of you, it's wasted resources if the person is not gonna reciprocate that feeling. Do you think that they cared enough for you to actually, let's just think about it and let's not give up on it that easily? They did,
but luckily for the people that I always work with, it's honest people. They will tell me, you understand? And I feel like it's for me as personally, I love those people because they are like me. If you are wasting my time, at some point I'm going to tell you that I feel like you're wasting my time. When you're ready, I'm not saying I'm the cooper totally in my life, but I'm just saying you're wasting my time and there are resources here that I used. Imagine, you're a singer. There's times where you go to photo shoots. There's recordings included. There's money spent for you to just decide to shut down. Those are things that I'm working on. I'm being honest now. Okay. Those are things I kept on working on, and I feel like I'm in a perfect space now because I will never do that. I will never waste people's time and sometimes people, you don't pay people in this thing that you're doing, and unfortunately sube kuqalwa, and then you happen to progress and you improve. Now you end up working with other people and sekuyimali involved. Those people will sometimes they will not tell you, but deep down they feel like usilahlile thina because we were there when you were trying, and
now all of a sudden you're not
you're not here. You have money to pay abanye abantu that were not there when we started. But unfortunately, those kind of things happened because we ended up mhlambi parting ways, uyabona, and then mhlambi I improved myself, and they were not there. Yeah, well, so it's those kind of things. But I mean, like it's kind of costly,
Yeah.
and it breaks trust.
Yeah.
And mhlambi uzoba nelike wena ube nabantu abazophinda baphinda bathi, okay, we are welcoming you back. Abanye bazothi no, thanks.
I mean, gosh, I'm sitting and I'm listening to you speak. I'm listening to you speak. And I'm really happy because I feel like our generation is creating a space whereby it's okay not to be okay. You know, it's okay to break down. Nobody will judge you. And nobody will put pressure on you to bounce back. Because we're finally at a place and point whereby we've seen abazali bethu and we've seen how they've done things, and we've seen how certain decisions have placed them where they are in life, and you've been around them your entire life, and you're like, no man, so and so and so forth is not for me, right? I don't want this for my life. I don't want this for my kids. And what you are standing on right now, it's such an important factor, because as a mother, I would believe that you want to raise your kids in a place whereby they understand that you can be a straightforward person. It doesn't necessarily that you are not. You don't want what's good for other people, but it's just like, it's not for me. I appreciate you for coming through and offering that, but it's not for me. And we have to learn how to understand that no does not mean disrespect.
Yeah.
I feel like when people actually
And I
know,
should not feel bad.
yeah, I feel like I don't understand why people do that. Every time people say no, or can I borrow your money, or can I be on the podcast, or can I, and you tell them that this is a situation. Unfortunately, we can't take part right now, but it's something that we'll venture into. And then, like, the energy drops for some reason. And I'm like, a delay is not a denial. You understand? So I love the fact that you're also aware of yourself. Now, you've mentioned, since the fact that you're aware, you're constantly working on yourself as a person, right? You're constantly working on yourself. What would you say is the one thing that you're currently working on right now? It can be your emotions, it can, your career, it can be your personal life. What is it that you are currently working on right now that you know that is kind of like pulling you back?
Well, what I'm working on is not pulling me back, but I'm working on sticking to one thing at a time. Being a creative, you are able to do a lot of things. And the fact that we are in a very bad state as a country, and the economy, with everything going on, you can end up doing industries because you're desperate, you want money, everyone wants to be comfortable, we all want money, but you can end up doing industries and not achieve any. You understand? So I'm teaching myself to at least stick to two things at a time, because I've been doing a lot of things.
It's funny that you've mentioned that, because I've been trying to get people to help me with my scheduling.
Yeah.
Because like everything is sort of everywhere.
Yeah.
So
and that is also costly, because we are dinwa as a person. You understand? So I've been feeling tired because I've been engaging on a lot of things. So I'm trying to tone down and achieve izinto zimbalwa, and then pass this one, and then go to the next.
How do you take a step back? How do you just like zone out and just leave everything? The opportunities, the love and admiration, the social media. How do you just like literally just block everything off and just go to your own little cocoon?
So for example, I'm a singer.
Yeah.
I'm also front of house, working in a company that is doing arts. And so ezinto zethu andikazibala ezinye izinto. Ezi zinto zethu are both demanding time from me. And also ndinabantwana abayi-2. Those 2 kids also need my time. So imagine if I'm adding on ezinye izinto, you understand? And I'm a person who's not able to say no.
Yeah.
I will be tired, you understand? So I try and, first of all, stay away from my phone as much as I can. Every chance I get, I stay away from my phone and see, okay, this week, what am I doing? Even if mhlambi ke iziphile zingenzeki ngohlobo ndifuna ngalo, but at least
you have
that
an idea.
time uyokwazi uplana for me is a big deal, you understand? Being able to plan, okay, this week I'm achieving this and that. If this and that is not happening, I'm good, like in the right, you understand? And then the next week, I'm planning to do this. For me, personally, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yabo. And emsebenzini, work schedule, you are given a week before, every week.
Every
so
week?
you can't say, yes, you're not given a month. So you can't say, Glenyanga,
So literally, you can't like plan
For a
and
month.
say, "Bah, okay, fine, I'm planned for Saturday. I'm
Aha.
fully booked."
So anything else
Wow.
is infused there. Keep planning yasemsebenzini wami. You understand? So for me, uba ndingadinwa, zonke ezinye izinto ndizixuba pha. So for me, planning, it's something that bendike ndangumuntu ongaplaniyo wena. Like like it was bad. So
To what extent? What do you
like
mean
to
bad?
an extent where I would forget, but I was supposed to do this. Like
don't now for like tell me you're forgetting like your kids or whatever, like I'm 17 or something.
Bruh, like,
don't
appointment,
say-
ndingayi
escolate.
appointment.
Nish, we can't do
Yes.
that, bruv.
Yeah, it was that bad. So I had to.
It was that bad.
No.
Ayingena?
It was that bad because we worked with her.
No, are you being serious?
Yeah, like yeah, Usiba knows. Like it was that bad.
Yema, you have kids. I mean, as a mother, I mean, as a father at this point, then I'm and I'm thinking, I have a child. I have a whole breathing human. A whole breathing human with nostrils and everything. How do you literally just switch off to the point, yamlibala, umdana?
It's not umlibala per se. And mlibelanga. It's just that there are these things as lapakum that I know, but okay, yabo.
Yeah.
And now it hits me about shit, a deadline. You understand? And it's a paying thing. Imali seikum. You understand?
Yeah.
I need to take care of that thing.
But who's
Because of integrity, I need to keep my word. Then I forget, but there's something else that, yabo. So it's something like that.
But abantwana bona, like if they're not in your care, with bafola under who's assisting you?
Luckily, I have utata wabo is taking care of abantwana xa ndingekho.
Okay.
If banodabawo, banomakhulu abayi-2,
Yeah.
I have my brothers. Like I'm sorted. So
Okay.
if undisenda wena I'm stranded, I'm not one of those people saying I'm not talking to I'm not kidding. No. If I'm stranded or there's something that needs to be taken care of
Yeah.
and I'm away, I'm
got
not stressed. It's
yokugqibela lo ithethayo ulibala abantwana, bruv.
not really bad. I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
I get you, but it's just like it's the extent. I'm trying to emphasize the.
no. It's mhlawumbi ndikuve wrong.
No, I mean, I'm trying to emphasize the fact that you get to the point of exhaustion, to the point whereby your motherly instincts are being affected.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm trying to get at.
No, it happens.
Man.
It happens. I'm a human being.
And how did you bounce back from that? I mean, not only just forgetting Kongoka Bandwana, just like you trying to
It
get
wasn't
everything
something like
together.
Ncedeka for long. I want you to hear me well. It's not like buying Ncedeka.
Oh,
But like
okay.
once in a while it happens. You understand? And at some point, and there was UNISA as well, because I was also studying and working. So, but now I do have that break because I can't do funde klonyaka. So imagine being a student, being a mother. Ngapha ndifuna umculo kaloku now uyabhatala i-bills.
Yeah.
You understand? And then there are other things like projects that I'm part of. So
Yeah,
I had to like choose. Okay, I'm sticking to this now.
yeah.
And then ezinye sapena sizibona.
I mean, it's giving strong woman or an independence.
Ayiyo ke san.
No,
Ayiyo ngulife
how?
uyawandilidela up.
No, but I mean, all of those decisions, you took them alone.
I had to, yeah.
I mean, you tried to do everything,
Yeah.
tried to have everything under control.
Yeah.
Uwedwa. So for me, regardless you were like acing your duties as a mother, the fact that you were trying as a single parent at the
Yeah.
time, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that's something that we really need to emphasize and bring. Actually, this is perfect, but it's bringing me to my next question. Like I said, it's giving independence. It's giving, I am aware of myself. I am a woman. I know what I want for my life. I'm not limited by society's expectations of what a woman is.
Sure.
Right? And my next question to you would be, what do you think a woman of the 21st century, and by 21st century I mean umfazi ngoku, a young lady, a young girl, right now in our generation, what do you think would be, I'm trying to think of a word. What would you think would be kind of point of view that we okay, this is a woman now compared to Abafazi in like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years, my mother. How would you consider what is a woman today in 2024? I think that's the perfect way to phrase it. What do you think is a woman in 2024 with all of these responsibilities, with all of these, wifely duties, motherly duties, work duties, career duties, personal duties? What do you think is a woman in 2024
So by a woman, you mean mhlambi, including
ladies,
a girl that
girl,
does not even have a kid and stuff like.
like what do we consider ngoku umuntu obhinqileyo, in other words?
I feel like it should not change. It should
Okay.
not change, but it's just a matter of being aware of the times that you are in as
Okay.
a woman. Ukubone, consider the fact that there are negative things happening around. Umzekelo, there's rape, there's high rate here rape, there's robbery. These days, you can't just walk around with your bag. Umzekelo, there's umzekelo. As a lady, you can't just walk around, even though you'd love to, we are feminine, we love looking good, we love doing this and that, but you cannot just carry your bag, depending about upi. You understand? There's a simple thing.
Simple, no.
You cannot just carry your bag anywhere. You cannot walk around alone, not being known uba upi, because anytime uyayazi noba ndingavele ndiqhule because kuyaxhulwa kuyabulawa amantombazana. So you need to be aware of what's going on around. That's what I would point out, the first point. You need to know what's going on around. You need to read about current affairs. You need to be educated about things. You need to get out of the box and not be dependent on iskolo. By iskolo, I mean like being mhlambi ufunda UWC or whatever. Be a person that is curious about things, research, you know things,
Okay.
and know yourself when aba ufita phi wena kwezi zinto that are going around emhlabeni okanye where you are currently. Yabo, so that you'd be able to deal with life. Knowing yourself, ungazifanisi nabanye abantu. Umzekelo, I cannot compare myself with my mom because of ixesha endikulo mna ngoku. Age yam, I'm 31 years.
Yeah.
Mama mgoyena 31, she probably wasn't dealing with things that I'm dealing with, economically, financially, emotionally, and so on.
Okay.
So you need to know yourself and also be aware of where you are and the environment that you are in, and also be intentional about the people that you keep in your space.
Yeah.
And the most important is taking care of yourself, be
Yeah.
able to build yourself personally.
Yeah, mental health is very important.
Yes.
I can't stress that enough.
Yes, that one is one of the most important things.
And how do you cope with your mental health?
Because I feel like I'm a loner,
Yeah.
so I'm able to checklist. Ndia break her down if I don't spend time alone.
Okay.
In a long time. Once in a while I need to shut down. And if I don't do that, even my body tells me. I feel like it's something that most people don't know about me, because ndibonakala is that bubbly person.
Bubbly.
I need that to survive.
But I feel like that's something that every
Everybody,
person does.
yeah.
And they go through. They don't understand, Bana, to actually get yourself in a position and quick mentality, you know what, I'm going to be the life of the party.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of you. Because when people are going to go home and you're going to go into your own little corner, and then you're going to start thinking. I get it, you didn't have time to think during the day because you're around your friends. Now you're all by yourself and you're thinking, shit.
And you know that there are people that
I'm not-
cannot do that.
Yeah.
They can't do that because of izinto. Mental health yabo is so much at stake, so much that xa umuntu onohlala yedwa mhlambi ingagiva in phela izibulala nozibulala, because they are not used to that checking in. But okay, where am I? Basically, I'm good. I'm a loner, so that's how I survive.
So from the question that I asked in regards to what do you think is a woman in 2024 represent, or what is a woman in 2024, I feel like from the answer that you gave, I get a sense of being aware. Just know who you are first before anything else. Know who you are before you actually allow the world to actually, or the external factors hinder who you are as a woman first, before a wife or
Yeah.
before a daughter or anything. What do you guys, because I feel like as men, we don't understand what you guys go through on a daily basis. And we talk about this and in and we have discussions among ourselves that we have this tendency of saying, just because we have money, just because we have material things and access to that kind of life, we tend to not cater to you guys' emotional state and mental health. Because and I'm speaking for myself, okay? I'm not speaking for every other man out there. I'm speaking for myself when I say, now I feel like from the men that I've grew up with, I feel like providing was their way of saying I care for you. Not necessarily they will say, but okay, man is up manhlale now. Just like as a father to a son, or as a brother to another brother, or as to umalume to umchana. I've never got that way by social sapansi niti, okay, kumani, let's do a check-in. Dada unjani, how are you? And as a father and as a husband, I feel like that's how our society, particularly black men, I feel like we've been raised up to think that that is how we show our care, by providing. Providing is the first instinct, which is not completely wrong. But I'm just talking about in the emotional sense right now. How do you guys actually deal with a person, or let's rather keep it to the gender. How do you deal with your brothers, your partners, your fathers, your leadership, whoever's leading you that might have a position of being a male? How do them not being emotionally invested and catering to your mental health, which is still on a topic of mental health, how does that affect you? Is it hard for you to get through to them? Have you tried, or have you been in a position of trying to actually get through to someone? Because there's a block. I can't get through to you. Only have you ever experienced that before?
I mean, I have, and I don't think it's something that should stress me kakhulu. You understand? Knowing that I know that okay, I do my check-in.
Yeah.
I can do much for a person. I'm talking about me. I can do up to a certain extent.
Yeah.
If I feel like bana, and I mean, you can only bring close to your space umdu ofunayo. You understand? I cannot force anyone. If umzekelo, I am trying to express something and I feel like you have put a wall, I will try up to a certain extent. If I feel like banten pumele, unfortunately I can't. You understand? Generally ke ngoku, with parents, with brothers, with friendships, with whatever. You understand? If I feel like okay, I'm gonna go to my parents umzekelo. Utatam, he's a traditional, like your typical Xhosa male, ekhulele elokishini. Elokishini, there isn't much room for us to express these things because there isn't much movement. Okay, people are meeting up and they're talking about things. So, xa ucinga wena, inoba xa ifika kwakhe uyakwazi uyenza laa nto? No.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, we are from church, and I love that at church there is a room that is opened because there will be like your conferences, your male conference, your women conference. At least they try to lighten up kubone these topics, but we need to be people that are talking about things. And so it's easy for me umzekelo, if I am dating this guy, or I'm talking to my father, I'm experiencing this ndikwazi ukuya kutatam, and kungcono ngoku. You understand?
Yeah.
Because of those rooms. But if bekuthiwa sithetha umzekelo ubrother wam uzelwe otata mhlawumbi bezingekabikho ezaa movement. You understand? So mhlawumbi utata mina bengekakwazi uba kuthethwe about things. But luckily for me, mna ndiyakwazi uthetha notatam ukubone ndi-express uba okay, I don't like this and that man tata. How about we do this? Naye ndimnike room to say okay, as my daughter I feel like for A, B, and C, and so it's better for me. It's even better for Osipho, the last one, because times really have moved, and we talk about things. And then with friendships as well, emails, I will express something about okay, you are my friend, I have boundaries. There's this and that you cannot do.
Yeah.
For our friendship to grow or uba ibe sustained. If I feel like if you do this, iyaphela friendship yethu.
I mean, what would you consider is a healthy boundary?
Health boundary.
Yeah. What would you consider is a healthy boundary?
One example would be the sexual sexual room that most males will try to open.
Oh.
Forget that we are friends. Umzekelo, you cannot touch my bum.
Okay.
Noba siyahleka, you don't do that to me.
Yeah.
You understand? You don't even hide it ngoba siyahleka because you are my friend. Not unless it's something that we've spoken about. But okay, my friend, you can do this to me. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, it's like you should know that you are a male. Now I'm a female.
like
I cannot
respect.
just.
Respect me.
Yeah, we understand. So it's those kind of things. And there will be friends that will say, "Hi, bo, I feel like that's not a big deal." Iphelile ke ngoku, iyaphela ke into yam norapeleng atsho uZuki. So iyaphela ke i-friendship yam nawe because I tried to express into yobana I don't like this.
I'm not comfortable, but
I'm
then
not
you
comfortable.
continue it.
You understand?
Like you continue to do the
We
very same thing
khawulile
that I didn't.
bounda.
Okay, no, I get you.
So basically, those are the things that, I feel like women are experiencing and they will still continue experiencing because, I mean, there's new species of people. There's new generation that is going to come. Mhlambi yona ezawuthi, hayi, if mhlambi awufuna udlala nathi kanje siyabamba thina, then iyaphela friendship. Okanye mhlambi abazukhathala ngeefeelings zakho, you understand? We are moving, we are growing. Thina sawabadala kuzoba khona i-friendship yomelo umntanam. Xa bebadala bona sibazi uba bakwenza kanjani, you understand? But mna kweyam experience.
Yeah.
I feel like if my friend does not take my word or does not respect what I'm trying to express, then mayiphele.
I mean,
Those are the things that female are experiencing.
actually, I'm like when you're talking and when you talk, I constantly think, like I'm trying to process what you're saying, and from what you're saying is that I get a sense, of you being a strong young lady. Aren't you not tired of being strong constantly? Just.
I feel like kule xesha lethu, it's something that I need. So I need mna. I need it. I feel like umuntu ongekho strong uya crasha.
Yeah.
Kwelithe xesha. Because there are a lot of things that are happening and people take advantage of people that are not strong. So mna personally, I don't want to be one of those people. I used to be soft.
But we're talking about this like earlier today and how like I'm such a softie. And guys, now my softness is my strength. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to lose. And I mean, I know I'm a gent, but I feel like being sensitive and being like soft and just kind of aware of my emotions and being to the point whereby I'm emotionally strong and I'm proud of it. I feel like it's something that it's a strength. It's not a weakness. I don't understand how just so cool. I mean, I mean, guys, what are the expectations what are the kind of life are we setting for abafana bazayo emva kwethu? Because we're creating a cycle where like men and we are bottling up our emotions. We are bottling up our emotions in everything that we do. So I don't understand, Yani, why it would consider a male,
So I'm not saying go wrong or to be an emotional person, but
Yeah.
personally, I feel like my emotions should never overpower me.
Overpower you.
No, for me, I've had experiences where my emotions have overpowered me and it costed me.
But then if it's who you are, then what
No,
happens?
I'm talking about me. It should never, because at some point, because my emotions are overpowering me. So personally, that's not me.
Man, and it's crazy because I'm trying to be at a point whereby, okay, I could be sensitive, but I could also like say no. I'm allowed to say no, like I said earlier on. And was it to no to the people that I love? Weirdly enough, I cannot say no. I would rather stress myself out. For example, with this little incident that just happened, in regards to, the microphone, for example, that Makatu, shout out. I completely forgot that we do, use the microphone in the segment, and just because I appreciate the man of God so much, I love the person that he is. I kind of completely forgot that we're using it, and that's the person that I am. But okay. We, like you, I kind of wish I could get to that point someday. But I don't weigh my emotions.
Don't push yourself. Those pushes are zenzekelele.
Unless you've, like, something that you've also mentioned, you mentioned your father that he's a strict person. And I feel like with any other father who has a daughter. My question is to you, or a general question. You're a young lady, and I keep on going to being in a space of a female. Because I have sisters, and obviously I want to be equipped with every knowledge that I could possibly have to try to support them in whichever way I can as a brother, as a older and younger brother. How did your father's standards in regards to how you're brought up actually affect your identity, Ngoko? Because I would believe you do think in and songs and church you fellowship, but necessarily I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that's where your genre.
No.
What is your genre?
So I would like to say soul.
Soul.
Yeah, I will say soul.
How did the guy feel about that?
Utatam does not decide for me. Like I can't it has nothing to do
With your faith
my
and
faith.
your
No, I can't
relationship.
iphazamisayo.
Okay.
Ayinamatimoni like hariyam. Like ayinamatimoni. Paikai ayithathwa as uba ayinamatimoni because they understand that it's work. And it's a sign of growth because I was not limited to one genre. I started with gospel music because that's where I learned my music ecaweni.
But ngisho bathi babantu nje now xa siculayo phaa like kwiindawo zethu we become different people.
Yeah, no, mna ndithetha ngam.
Okay.
Mna shem mna
You're wrong.
mna phaa ekhaya ayithathwa as uba ngamadimoni. In fact ndiyaziwa uba ndicula phi. Because I'm honest, ndichaza okay, ndinegig endaweni ethile. Kwenze noba you'll never know anything happen. Funa ndazi uba ndiphi. So ndiyasupportwa mna phaa ekhaya.
I mean, did the opportunities that you got as a songstress, did they not come with thinking about maybe how will I be perceived by the Christian?
No. Because andenzeli
Christian
bona
dynamic.
abantu mna.
You see, dude.
Like
You see that? I feel like that is something that we constantly need to have.
And I feel like it should not be a problem for me. I don't know. We have your Miriam Makebas. There's no skirikiri.
But Christian does overlap us. It does overlap our identities. Because
the thing is, I'm not singing things that are... The fact that I'm not singing gospel doesn't mean that I'm singing against
that will drive a bandit to
my Christianity or Jesus or my belief. There's no... I call clash in what I'm doing. Mhlambi umntu that has attended my shows or where I've been booked or whatever will attest. I'm not singing things that are against my faith. So I don't understand why it would ever be a problem.
And have you never felt rejection in that space?
I don't know. Mhlambi ndilibele or mhlambi I did not care.
Ne?
Yeah.
Like in rejection in regards to maybe you saw a producer or maybe like you wanted to work with someone that you really admired. Have you not dealt with like rejection before?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay, I mean that's good. I mean it just gives you time to prepare. I'm not saying now prepare for the negatives, but just to mentally get your mind around it. Now, this has been a phenomenal episode for me. And like I said, I have sisters. And I want them to get to a point whereby I'm free, I know who I am. I can be many things and I can still be a good person. I can be messed up. I could have everything figured out. I could not be the greatest person when it comes to time. I cannot read my Bible every single day. It doesn't necessarily mean that it takes away. Understand? And I feel like that's what you have. I feel like you're loving every aspect of yourself. You're loving every little aspect of yourself, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, yazithanda. And self-love is something that not all of us has. I have my moments where I struggle with self-love. I have my moments where I struggle with self-acceptance. And I've said this, it's not necessarily, I think it's me, but I do understand when we put ourselves in a position of social media. Social media is not a kind place. 90% of the time, it's not a kind place. So the fact that you do put yourself out there, there's a lot of, you're open to the unknown. So it becomes a challenge, but it's not impossible, right? Someone said to me, you know what, don't look at the comments. You know, don't look at the comments because I'm the person who, I look at one comment I post something and I don't get the reaction that I expected, and I think that's the problem. We put something with an expectation with the emotion. So
You only expect the positive.
yeah, and then when it doesn't happen, we automatically go, we're not okay. But like I said, I feel like when you have that, and I'm so grateful and I'm so honored that we are amongst Abantu Bafana now, and to tap us at the back and I love you, but what you're doing is not I quite right. So I love that for yourself, and I love that you are able to bring us into your world. Now I do understand that today's your birthday. I mean, I was stressing about this the entire week. No, I was really stressing because I wanted to kind of surprise Nyana. But certain things happen for a certain reason, for certain reasons, and I just want to say happy birthday. Thank you so much for actually accepting the invitation. The fact that I didn't know, but the fact that you still accepted the invite when we sent the email, knowing that today's your birthday, knowing that you could have been a waterfront or something, I'm very much happy. So happy birthday, and I pray and hope that God will continuously bless you, English, not only in your music, but also as you do minister, Musta. I mean, also in your ministry. I mean, we God's favors children. I mean, so I honestly hope that everything goes well. Nothing but the best for your career and initially, your life as a whole. Now, the last question as we're about to wrap up. Have you managed to actually reach your uphill? As much as I have been talking about everything, have you managed to actually reach your uphill?
How you break it down? Don't uphill.
By uphill. Okay, not perfect timing, because let me actually break down the name of why it's the Uphil podcast. So I get it, guys, I'm starting to drive. Not starting to drive. I've been driving, but I got my license very I think last year recently. So I've managed to lock the road, and everything. Unfortunately, I'm not as great when it comes to my incline. I'm not as great. And I'm not ashamed. Guys, I'm a guy, I'm a gent who's not good with incline.
Okay.
Just want to put that out there. So what happened, or how the name got, we thought of it, or how I thought of the initial name. I was going to Clifton with a friend of mine, and I didn't know how to get there because I'm driving myself for the first time. So using Google Maps. Yo, skakla. I get there, and there's this high hill, or a hill that goes up a cliff. I got there, and it's struggling. I'm on 3, but I'm not sure what is happening. I'm on the right gear, but I knew Ncedeka. I knew. So I initially was like, okay, shit. There's 2 things that's gonna happen here. 1, the car's gonna slip back and I'm not gonna have control. Or 2, I'm literally gonna drive back into a car or something. And then I want to accident him now. Especially when the car is the road is going up. Long story short, I struggled. The car stopped. I literally just stopped the car. Now, to make matters worse, there is a situation happening in the back. I have this Mercedes in the back. Now my blue cheese picato. And I'm thinking, provided that I go back and I sit back, where am I going to get the finances to actually pay back this guy, Mercedes, and from another race, which I will not mention. He was there and he's hooting at me. I'm like, bruv, yeah, but the guys keep on he's insisting that I move. The hazards are on. So, and he can't go the other side because so he can't initially try to overtake. The only way I could literally go up is when space in the nuke. You know what I did? I literally tried. No, I didn't try. I forced the car. Now there's something called, I think Jansen Land gear. What is a gearbox or something? Yes, the gear thingy. It I smelled the burn. It smelled like ngadikonde chayo. Obviously, it wasn't. I didn't take it as a hardcore thing. Oh God, my father's gonna watch this. I didn't take it as a bad thing, at the first, because we had for the first time. So I literally pushed the car up. I forced it up, but yanuka. So that means that something there was a problem. So I managed to go up and I managed to give the guy space. So it wasn't about me not knowing what to do, but it's about the pressure that I had. And literally in an instance. So the guy was not giving me a chance. I was like, this is a perfect opportunity and this is a perfect story to actually bring my podcast to, because that is what the Uphil podcast is about. We want to get to the top of the hill regardless. So if we have to fake it until you make it, fake it. If you have to force yourself, as long as when you know what you want and you're genuine about it. So that's where the Uphil came from, because I did get to the top of the hill and I've managed to go into right and everything was okay. So the question is specifically linked, or it's meant to be answered in the sense of where you are right now in your life. Do you think that you've reached whatever milestone or whatever peak that you think is or would be your success in
No,
life?
I haven't. Andikakafiki mntasekhandi
Oh, sorry.
Ewe.
What do you think will take for you to get there? Because I've mentioned quite a lot of things. What do you think would be like that one thing that you know, if I get this right, I'll reach the top of my hill? Just from the top of your head.
So because my career needs me to reach people, like a wide range of people. So I still need to work on ways to get out of the country and, to grow my brand. So that's why ndithi andikakafiki kwawufika, because ndiselapha eSouth Africa ngoku. Yabo sithetha seSouth Africa ngoku. I'm not talking about social media only. I'm talking about like being able to
Literally.
go out. When I
Okay.
go there, I don't have to introduce myself. So that means I haven't worked, because kusekho abantu xa ufika usithi Ncedeka kuthiwa Ncedeka waphi. You understand?
Is it music,
Because
is it music on Spotify and Apple Music?
it is, yes, but I mean I haven't reached. I know where I want to be, and I'm not even close to being there.
When people want to listen to your music, what do
Yes,
what do
they can
search?
find me on every social media platform or digital platforms, because I also have music on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, like all the digital platforms. So, but I mean, if you don't know me, you won't search me. If you get my point.
mean, yeah.
So I still need to grow my brand. I still need to, go out and get my
Yeah.
music to be known out there.
And it's all about consistency. Okay?
Consistency,
and that's what
yes.
we've been talking about throughout the episode. Consistency, faith, being strong, and being aware. And I feel like we have touched on so many things, very vital points that a lot of people need to hear. So yeah, man, I'm so honored again. I cannot emphasize that enough. We are honored as the Uphil podcast to have you as our second guest. I'm wishing nothing but the best for you, Ncedeka, my sweets, like nothing. Okay? Now you guys, this was another phenomenal episode for me, and I always say this, I'm huge on mental health and I will never ever stop talking about that. You might think what we're doing, you see people from very different areas of their lives, and you see and you're don't easily like just out of the blue actually contemplate and think, bana, in order for that person to actually get to that space or that view, how did they get there? When a lady funaya, will you able to actually be of that same mindset? So we want things, but we don't know the workload and the challenges that comes with it. And that is why people burn out. Understand it? Because we do things just because they're halal and not necessarily genuinely wanting to grow. So my piece of advice, my unsolicited advice, just be yourself. Understand that things don't come easy in life. Consistency is key. In the right now, I'm dealing with with consistency issues. And like I said, mental health is very important. And just go out there and just take the world by storm. And that was our episode, our second episode. Please continue to subscribe. Please continue to like and share. We have social medias platforms open. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Please get there and engage. We are posting things on our social media. Please, we do actually need you guys to actually give us feedback, and then so that we can actually try to, enhance our craft and get better at our craft. As we're closing off, Nesh, what would you like to say to the public?
Be yourself.
Okay.
Respect time. Respect yourself. and believe in yourself. Yeah.
Well, you heard it, folks. Believe in yourself. Take time. Understand that you are your own person. There's no one else out there but you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Uphil Podcast. And your boy, I'm out.